Here's what's coming up on Chicago Bears now. Caleb Williams impressing early at training camp. Positive signs there. Tevin Jenkins, we have a contract update there. Remember what he said in OTAs? Something new on that front. And then Aaron Rodgers, that fraud, FAR in the chat, talks Bears as well on Pardon My Take with Big Cat and the boys, so thought I'd react to that as well. Follow me on Instagram for daily Bears content, plus DMs are open. You can access me there at HGramNFL, trying to grow on that platform, so if you want to show some love and support and interact with my content over there, put a Portillo's food review up recently. That was fun. Give me a follow. It's at HGramNFL. Caleb Williams impressing early. Those have been the reports out of Bears training camp. I am Harrison Graham. Matt Eberflus kind of starting off his initial training camp press conference by saying several players, including Caleb, leveled up between OTAs and training camp. And today, or I should say on Monday, Matt Eberflus was asked about some of the pre-snap issues that were there during OTAs and minicamp because rookie quarterback, new players, yada, yada. There's some cadence concerns. And he says that has been cut down heavily. And he said, quote, Caleb is the apex of that. So kind of in other words, he used the off time to kind of figure that out. Dove into the playbook, got more comfortable with everything. And Tevin Jenkins was asked about the cadence issues and where things sit now. And he says it's been ironed out. So look, it's kind of like with anything else. A phrase Matt Eberflus uses a lot is time on task. Like, you spend more time on something, the better you're going to get at it. And, Caleb Williams in college didn't huddle up that much. Didn't, call plays to his teammates in a huddle. Probably didn't do a lot of cadence and hard count things at USC. And now, a couple months on the job, he's starting to get more comfortable with it. Shane Waldron, the Bears offensive coordinator, said this about his quarterback the other day. He said he did a great job during his time away from the building, owning the offense, understanding different calls, being able to come out here these first two practices and operate at a much higher level than what we left it after OTAs and minicamp. We know it's not where the final product is, but every day we see these incremental improvements leading up to that first game. That's our main goal on offense. He has a real quick mindset, making smarter plays, I'd say, quicker plays. You can just tell he's in a better space. Dan Wiederer, who's got boots on the ground every day at practice, he says Caleb Williams still has a long way to go to become a top-tier NFL quarterback, but man, oh man, some of the, quote, QB feel stuff he shows, yep, it's in there. Special is in there. And look, it's one thing for Dan Wiederer, some reporter, on the sideline who may or may not know what he's talking about when he's seeing things at practice, saying something. But when coaches, players, the GM continue to really go out of their way to hype this guy up, I think it's pretty real. Now, whether or not we should care about it until the games start is certainly fair game. I mean, we've heard things like this before, at least to a certain level, about, hey, it's going to be different this time, and, quarterback failure after quarterback failure here in Chicago. But I do think this is a different cat. I do think his mindset, his talent is different than what we've seen. And an area I'm encouraged in is we're 3 practices in, and I have yet to see a tweet from a reporter or from anyone at practice or, kind of a sense from a fellow player or coach of the offense looked lost out there. I mean, how many prior training camps? Defense is dominating. Offense can't even make a play. It's been pretty back and forth. Now, I'd say the defense has the slight edge, but it doesn't certainly feel like it's been one-sided whatsoever, and I think that's very positive. And then I also really like stuff like this, too. DeMarcus Walker coming out and having his quarterbacks back already. He said, I don't like how the media, the LA media, the national media, made him out to be a prima donna. Sit down and get to know him. He's a great kid. Caleb's confident, and people can use that as cocky. That's one thing they get wrong. I absolutely love this, and we've seen a lot of players up to this point go to bat for this kid. Cole Kmet saying, yeah, everything you read online, not true after you get to meet him and know him. And I've said this and I'll say it again. I think it's just a lesson of, listen, man, you can apply this to regular life. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't let some idiot on Twitter tell you how something is. Like, you want to get to know someone, you want to get to know something, go check it out for yourself. Like, it would be like me coming into the office tomorrow and sparking some controversy by saying, yeah, that movie sucked. Oh, when did you see it? I haven't seen it. Well, how can I say it sucks? I haven't seen it before. It's just stupid. So I like how they're backing this kid up. And look, that's their job to do that regardless. But it feels different to me. It feels like this kid's the guy. And again, if it's one thing to hear all this, to see it all, and watch these awesome throws in practice. If he goes out there and sucks in the games, the conversation's going to shift. But you know what? I'm going to choose to be half glass full and to believe that this kid has a chance to be special because he's got all the traits to do it, and his teammates seem to think he's got the leadership traits as well, and that part of it is just as important. Show Caleb some love. Get the 18s going in the comment section below. The 1-8s down below for QB1 as this process is just getting started. Let's shift to Tevin Jenkins as he talked about his contract status. Remember what he said during OTAs and minicamp? He said that the Bears had no interest in talking contracts. Well, maybe something's changed there. We'll get into that in just a few moments. But first, I'm going to tell you about our friends, our sponsor. It's Game Time. I went to the Home Run Derby last week. I got to tell you, lifelong dream of mine, and a big reason I was able to go is because I got the best prices available with the Game Time app. Getting tickets has always been a challenge for me, but not with Game Time. They give you an easy and painless way to purchase tickets just hours, sometimes even minutes before an event starts. Their specialty is last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, where you can save even more money. We're going to go check out the Cubs. You can do it. White Sox, Game Time's got you covered. How about a Bears preseason game? Yep. Also, you can see your exact vantage point of the venue you're attending. And best of all, Game Time offers the lowest price guaranteed. So what are you waiting for? Download the Game Time app today. Use code CHATSPORTS. Get $20 off your first purchase right now. Code CHATSPORTS, $20 off. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed. It's Game Time. Don't wait any longer. Start getting to some events. All right, let's keep things rolling here. Jason Leisure saying that Teven Jenkins says last year he was told on contract extension talks was that the team wanted to wait until after the bye week. Not last year. He said he was told last. So that's the change. OTA's minicamp, they have no interest in discussions. Now, we'll revisit it after the bye week. So it's not a huge shift, but there's at least a tangible timetable for Tevin where, okay, if I'm Teven Jenkins, I got 6 games before the bye. I need to play 6 games, stay healthy, and play well. And that's the big question. Can he stay healthy? Because that's his biggest negative. It's not his play on the field. It's not how he is as a teammate. It's not his versatility. He's played 3-4 positions since being here. It's the health. Can he be out there? Can he be reliable? Because in 3 seasons, he's missed 20 games, including 11 his first year, which he had a surgery early on that year, so that one was a little more like, okay. But even last 2 years without a major injury, still missed 4 and 5 games. Like, that's a lot of time. You're talking about 30-something% of games he's missing here. Like, you need him out on the field. And this thing's going to be interesting because if Teven Jenkins is out of the picture moving forward after this season, you might have to do a full reset in the interior. Like, we'll see what happens with Nate Davis. He's got 1 more year on his deal, but if he struggles this year, they can get out of that contract if they want to. Ryan Bates, Coleman Shelton at center. Maybe you go Bates at guard. Shelton's your center next year. Who knows? But Shelton's on a 1-year deal. Bates has 2 years left. Like, I don't know. I hope this works out because Tevin's talented. He's tough. He's a funny guy. Seems like a good teammate, locker room guy as well. But if he's not back, like, again, you're looking at maybe a whole different interior unit next year, and that just adds to your needs in terms of roster construction. So if you're Teven Jenkins and you and your camp have been told, hey, let's revisit after the bye week, the goal is to stay healthy and to ball out through 6 weeks. And if he could do that, maybe the leverage shifts a little bit back into his favor before kind of the second half of this season. All right, our next milestone here on the channel is 95,000 subscribers. We are 326 away. We got to get there before the Hall of Fame game. Like, I don't want to say they said this because they didn't, but if we don't get to 95K by the Hall of Fame game, I don't know. We may have to only do a first half watch party. And I would hate that because I want to do all 60 minutes. But we got to get 95,000 subscribers. So help us out. Hit the sub button, turn on notifications, and let's make it happen. Yes, our good old pal Aaron Rodgers joining Pardon My Take with Big Cat and PFT. And, of course, they talked a good amount about the Bears. This is kind of the chunk I did want to mention. And he did say he likes Caleb Williams, said he likes DeAndre Swift, Keenan Allen, said he liked the receiver from Washington. Of course, that's Rome Odunze. He said he's good. And then, of course, you still got DJ Moore. I think that team is almost good enough to beat the Packers, almost good enough. And in Rodgers' defense, which I rarely do, it was kind of a classic Pardon My Take interview. There was some jokiness to it. But you can tell he still clearly he likes the Packers. He likes the Bears' demise. So I just really need a win over Green Bay this year. I'm not even asking for a sweep. Give me one. Can we please beat the Packers once? I'm not asking for anything crazy. I'm just and by the way, Aaron Rodgers, dude, just focus on the Jets, dude. You got your own problems, but of course he's got me to talk about it, so I guess he got his wish in that regard. But it's just been ugly, man. 1-15 the last 16 matchups between these two teams. 0 wins over Green Bay since 2018. Haven't swept the Packers since 2007. I mean, think about that statement. That was 17 years ago. You haven't swept them once in 17 years? You've beaten them once in 16 games. I mean, I get certain rivalries become one-sided and they ebb and flow, and over the course of time it kind of evens out. This is too dominant, though. It should not be this way. And this new look Bears, they gotta start turning the tide a little bit, because I, for one, can't take it anymore. And if you're a player in that locker room, you shouldn't take it either, because this has just gotten ugly over recent years. Forever and always, you know the motto: FGBs in the comments, in the chat. If you're watching live, you just got to change this, man. It's up to us as fans to start the charge, and then the players and coaches got to execute. So get the FGBs rolling, and appreciate you guys for watching this show. Give me a follow on Instagram at HGramNFL, publishing more content over there. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. FGB as always.